Hey sewing friends, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be making this adorable little Batwing dress from Ellie and Mac Patterns. Again, just love their patterns so much, cannot say enough good things about them. They just have so many very clear step-by-step instructions that are so easy to follow and great for beginners like me. And I'm going to be making it out of this beautiful red polyester cotton or polyester spandex fabric. It's got a little bit of stretch to it, and it's just such a pretty color. So yeah, let's get going. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is sew the bodice together on the shoulder seams. So I'm going to go ahead and pin that and then sew it together. Okay, so that's all sewn together, and now the next thing that we have to do is to hem the sleeve. Oh, thank you. Bye. Next thing we have to do is hem the sleeve. So I have the sleeve hem all pinned now, and now I just have to sew it. Classic me. Instead of hemming the sleeves, I hemmed the bottom. I don't know how I make these mistakes. I need to just double check everything. I'm not going to seam rip this because it's going to be sewed into a hem, and it's going to need casing anyway, so I'm not too worried about it because the top will just be cut off anyway. So I'm not going to fix it. I'm just going to leave it as it is and hope it all works out in the end and hem the sleeves. Okay, so I have the correct seam pinned, and now I'm going to sew it. Okay, so the next thing that they have us doing is sewing the arm sleeve, like the connecting arm sleeves. What we're going to do is we're going to sew here, and then we're going to sew a line straight up from this bottom seam right here. And we're going to sew straight up so that it creates an arm sleeve. I think. I hope. Okay, so I was wrong. I thought that what they wanted was to sew up the inside here, and then did that, tried it on, and it was all wrong. It was just all wrong. So I seam ripped that out and looked at a bunch of pictures on the website and realized that that seam that goes up here is supposed to go on the outside. So that's what we're going to do. up on the one side like that to create this batwing shape, and so that you don't see armpit. There. Next time I might sew it a little lower. It's a little high, but it's good enough. It's good enough. I'm very happy with it. Next they have us making the straps, which is how they want us to do that, is to fold in the ends, press, and then fold in the sides into the center, and then fold in half. So it creates this really nice end. And you do that all by pressing the seams in half and then folding it into the center. And yeah, very clever way of making straps instead of like turning them. Yeah, I think it's going to be beautiful. So let's do that. These straps for sure could have turned out better, mainly due to my fault. I should have sewed closer to the edge here, but they look the same, and that's all I really care about. For our first attempt, it's not bad. It was a little bit difficult material to move through the machine. It wasn't like a cotton linen that would just like slide through. It was quite difficult to navigate, so the seam isn't exactly 100% straight, but overall not terrible. Next they have us basting on the straps before we put the interfacing on, so that's what I'm going to do now. Next we have the interfacing to sew together, and I've put the interfacing, the iron-on interfacing onto the interfacing. And now I'm just going to sew those together at the ends. And now I'm just going to go press the seams open. Okay, so next we're going to place the interfacing on the inside of the bodice. And then the top will be done. Yeah, done, which is super exciting. It's coming along really well, and I'm very excited. I have the interfacing all pinned in place, and now it's just to sew it. So the interfacing is all in, and now I just need to iron it down and then top stitch. on to hemming the skirt. So I'm gonna I've got it all pinned here, and I'm just gonna hem it all up, and then we're gonna put the skirt together that way, because they have us hemming it first, which I actually prefer because I hate hemming. So if I do it last, I'm always like, oh, hemming, I don't want to do that. If I do it in the middle, then I'm like, oh, I gotta do this to get to the fun stuff. So I actually kind of like this. So I managed to sew the wrong side of the skirt as the hem. I sewed the top, not the bottom. So now I have to seam rip it all out, re-hem it, and sew the skirt together. Seriously, with all the mistakes that I make, if I can get through this and make something, so can you. I hope this gives you a little bit of hope. Yay, the skirt's all put together, and look at how pretty it looks. It looks so beautiful with that handkerchief hem. Oh, I'm so excited. Now all that we have to do is sew the top to the skirt and then build a casing, which I've never done before, so it's something new. Yay, something new. Awesome, let's get to it. So I added a little bit of extra allowance on the one side to make up for the mistake that I made earlier by hemming the bottom and not the sleeves on the top, which seemed to work out okay, just so that it created an even seam allowance on the pattern, and then cut off the extra. And actually the hemming of the bottom made cutting off the extra a little bit easier. Still do not recommend. Now I just need to iron it and then sew the casing together and then thread the elastic. I'm a little nervous about the casing. Not gonna lie. I'm still not 100% sure how that goes together and how I'm gonna figure this out with my sewing machine. But we'll get there, and then we're gonna put the elastic in, and then we'll be done. And here's the finished skirt. I really love this dress. I think I figured out the casing. I think I did it right. It works. Whether I did it right or not, it works. And this handkerchief hem is so cute. And I just love how flowy it is. It's so flowy. The only thing I would have changed is maybe a little deeper V in the front and in the back, because I love the strap detail. But I think it looks great. Thanks for watching.